This video presentation is brought to you by the Pro Mathematics Academy. Welcome to another video presentation brought to you in part by the Pro Mathematics Academy. In this video, we'll be looking at trigonometry, which is the study of triangles. And a lot of times persons wonder, why is trigonometry called the study of triangles? And that's simply because a triangle is a polygon with three sides, right? Thus, another name is actually a trigon. So when you think about it, the study of trigons is called trigonometry. And since a trigon is a triangle, the study of triangles is also called trigonometry, right? So we jump right into this introduction by first talking about the three types of triangles, right? Which are the scalene, the equilateral, and the isosceles, right? So in detail, we want to think about an equilateral triangle, right, as a triangle with all sides equal and all angles equal, right? Thus, if we have a triangle with all sides equal, each angle must be 60 degrees, right? And each side must be equal to the other side. Here, I have 10 being the side, but that can be changed to 9 as long as all the sides are equal, okay? So here, let's put this one as 5, and we'll leave it at 5. Notice that an equilateral triangle cannot be a right triangle, okay? So here, let's explain these relative tick marks, right? Here we put 3 tick marks, each on one side of the triangle, and notice we have 1 on each side. Therefore, we're actually saying that each side is equivalent to the other side. So if we see this notation in a problem, we should know that this type of triangle is a equilateral triangle, okay? Cool. So let's move on to the scalene. Here, when looking at the scalene, we should remember that here, when looking at the scalene triangle, we should remember that none of the sides are equal, right? And none of the angles are equal, which means we have 3 different sides and 3 different angles, okay? So here, let's put in the angle A, let's put in the angle B, and put in the angle C. Here, we have the side A, and notice that the side A is the side that opposes the angle A, okay? The side B is the side that opposes the angle B, okay? So here, let's put in the side B, right? And the side C is the side that opposes the angle C. Let's put in our arrow for that one. Okay, arrow is going the wrong way there. Let's correct that. Okay, so here we have 3 different angles, A, B, and C, and we have 3 different sides, A, B, and C. Capital letters are used to represent angles, and common letters are used to represent sides. Okay, notice on my other triangle I have here, right, we have 2 marks on this side, 1 on this side, and 3 on this side, which basically means this side with 3 marks is the largest side on the triangle. This side with 1 mark is the smallest side on the triangle, and this side is the side that is in between. So these markings actually show the relative side. These markings actually show the relative size of each side, right, compared to the other side. So you can know which one is the smallest, which one is the largest. And we know that the largest side on a triangle is called a hypotenuse. So here we can clearly differentiate the hypotenuse from the other 2 sides. Okay? Moving right along, we now look at the isosceles trigon. Okay? And here when we talk about an isosceles, we're talking about a triangle with 2 sides being equal and 1 side not being equal to the other 2 sides. Okay? Also, 2 angles should be equal and 1 angle should be different. So here, if you know the value for y, then you can solve for the value x looking at this diagram, right? If we know the value y, we can solve for x, or if we know the value x, we can solve for y, right? So notice on my diagram here, I have 1 mark on this side, 1 mark on this side, which means these 2 sides have to be equal, and I have 2 marks on this side, showing us that this side is larger than these other 2 sides, okay? Awesome. So let's jump into this example, right, which asks us to find x in the triangle if y is equal to 50, so here I redrew my triangle, and here I drew over my triangle, right? And I put in the 50 where I have the value y, and two x's are unknown, and we can solve for our value for x if we recall that angles in a triangle add up to 180 degrees. This means that x plus 50 is equal to 180. This means that 2x plus 50 is equal to 180, which means that 2x is equal to 180 minus 50, which means that x is equal to, well, 2x is equal to 130, thus implying x is equal to 130 divided by 2, which means that x is equal to 75 degrees. Okay, so there we have solved for x. And before we close off our series on trigonometry, before we close off this introduction on trigonometry, we want to make a note that there are other classifications, right? Other ways for classifying triangles, right? So here we say given any triangle, right, it is either right or non-right. Notice that we do not have a triangle that is called a left triangle, right? It's either a right triangle or a non-right triangle. And we say that a right angled triangle is a triangle with one of the angles being equal to 90 degrees. That is it for this video. Please remember to hit the notification bell, like, share, and subscribe for future post notification.